Welcome to AutoCAD Basics for Architecture students from Architects Academy. Hello students, and today we are going to learn about the Fillet command. So let us look at what are the important points in using the Fillet command. So the first point is that the Fillet command is used to join two non-parallel lines to each other. So if the lines are parallel to each other, they will not be meeting at right angles. Then something else will happen that we'll see later on. Then these lines should be at right angles to each other, or they should be converging lines. That means the lines should be coming nearer to each other. They should not be going away from each other. The third point is that the lines can be either joined at a corner forming a vertex, as has been shown here, a corner. Here also two converging lines joined at a corner here forming a vertex, or they can be joined with an arc having a certain radius, as has been shown here. These two lines are joined together by an arc with a radius. Here also these two converging lines have been joined with an arc with a certain radius. So let us now see how to use this command. So now we'll just go and first draw a few lines. So let us say I draw a line here and another line. I draw it at a certain distance from this line. You can see that these two lines are at right angles to each other, and now I want these lines to connect at a corner. So I will use the fillet command. So where is the fillet command available? Let us see. So first it is available in this ribbon menu. So here you can see the fillet command. So I can either invoke the command here, see fillet, or I can type in the command in the command prompt fillet and enter. So again the fillet command will start. Or the third method is that I can use the shortcut for the fillet command, that is F and enter. So that will also start the fillet command. So once the fillet command is started, it is going to ask you to select the first object. So you can select either of these two objects as the first object. So I'll select first this object. Once I select this object, it is asking me for a second object. So fillet, select second object. So I'll select this object. So you see what is happening is that these two lines are now getting connected at right angles. So like that you can connect any lines which are at right angles to each other or converging lines. For example, let us say now we turn our ortho off. There is one line here and there is another line which we are drawing here. Now you can see that these two lines are converging towards a point. They are coming nearer to each other at a point. So we can fillet these two lines. So again we'll use the fillet command. Now from this ribbon menu, what it is asking is first object, select the first object. Then it is asking for second object, select the second object. And what you will see is that these two lines now get extended and they get connected to each other at the vertex. So this is how you can use the fillet command for joining lines at right angles or convergent lines. Now suppose you wanted to have a filleted corner. Filleted corner could be required for drawing some elements which could be having a rounded corner. So let us say that we want to have a corner with a radius of 300. So this arc will be coming here with a radius of 300. So how to do that? So let us look at now another example. So we have got two lines. Now again I'll put on the ortho mode. So there's one line here and another line here. Now I want to connect these two lines, but I want to connect them with a radius. So for that what I will do is I will again go back to my fillet command. So I'll just here type in F and enter so that this fillet command will start. Now it is giving me some options here, as you can see. So in these options there is one option called as radius. So I'll click on that. So that is going to be asking me for radius, specify the fillet radius. So here I am going to give it 300 as my radius of the fillet and enter. Once you enter this radius, this will now be set as the radius, 300 radius. Now it is asking me again first object and second object. So here it is going to ask select first object. So I'll select the first object, and then it is going to ask me to select the second object. So now see what happens when I select the second object. They are now joined to each other but with an arc, and this arc has got a radius which is equal to 300. Now let us check whether this radius is truly 300 or not. So for that, what we'll do is we'll go to dimension and we'll select radius. So when I click on this, what you will see is that it is going to start showing me the radius here. So you will see that the radius of this arc is 300. So this was how we created a filleted radius with a fillet with a radius. Now suppose the lines are like this, converging. Let us try to draw them. So there is one line. I will turn off the ortho mode so I can have the lines at some angle. There is another line like this, and now again I use the fillet command. I go to this ribbon menu, click on the fillet. Now you will realize that the radius has already been set to 300 earlier, and that remains as the default value. So I need not again enter the radius here. So what I will do is I will just select the first object and the second object, and what you will see is that this will now be drawing an arc at the end of these two lines, which will be having a 300 radius. So this is how you can make a radius for these two lines, which are the converging lines. Now remember one important thing, that since this radius has been set to 300, it will remain like that for the rest of this drawing. And therefore, if you want to turn it off, you must go back to your fillet command, choose option radius, and here instead of 300, which is the default value as you can see here, you enter 0. So now henceforth anything that you draw will be now at without a radius or without an arc. So this is something which is important to note, that the radius, if you want to cancel the radius, you have to again reset it back to 0. Now let us say that instead of just two lines, you have to fillet many lines. For example, let us say that we have got one line, second line, a third line, and a fourth line somewhere here. So now what is happening is that when I use the fillet command, just see what happens. When I use the fillet command, it is asking me to select first object, then the second object. And now see what happens is that once this fillet command is operated, it comes back to the command prompt. So every time I have to again enter the fillet command, either with a space bar or by going here and selecting this. So the fillet command is a command which only works for one time. Once it is used, it will come back to the command prompt. So now you don't want this to happen. You want to do the filleting for all these objects in one single command. So how will we do that? So let me just undo this a little bit so that I come back to this original thing. Now what I will do is I will try to fillet all these lines with a single command. So for that I will go to my fillet command, and now in this you will see the options. In this you will see one option which is called as multiple. So I will select this option. Once I select this option, it is going to be ask me to select the first object, second object. Now see, this once this is completed, it doesn't come back to the command prompt, but it keeps on asking me for first and second object. So I can select this and this, then I can select this and this, I can select this and this, and so on. So I can select multiple lines in the same fillet command by using this option, which is called as the multiple option. So this is something which is an important option which you should understand. So that was all about the fillet command for the time being. I hope you like this video. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Architects Academy. Thank you.